welcome to Adventure Map Time, a new project I'm starting which revolves around me creating an adventure map. So any regular to my channel will know that I create, what would you call them, I don't know, fragments of adventure maps, you know, just an out of context scenario. That could be an adventure map, but it's not an adventure map at all by itself. So the goal here is to create an actual map from start to finish, which has a story, a plot, puzzles and everything, and I'm aiming for this to be very enjoyable, so we shall see. Now this map is going to be based around the fairy tale Jack and the Beanstalk. So unless you haven't heard of that, basically it's a little story where there's a boy, he's poor, gets some magical beans, goes up a beanstalk, fights a giant and kills the giant, I think. So that's going to be the premises of the map, but there's going to be lots of other stuff added in between everything. So yeah, so basically what we've got here is a pen. It's going to be a sheep pen, so you're going to start out the adventure here. And you're a farmhand, and this guy over here is your boss. So he's going to tell you to round up some sheep. There are 6 pens or 7 pens here, so you're going to go round up these sheep and you're going to put them in the pens. Now once you rounded up these sheep, it shall trigger redstone. So once all of them are in the pens, it will trigger this redstone, and I'll show you what that does. So if I put this back here, once all of these have gone off, this will no longer power this block here, so this torch can activate. And what that does is it destroys this redstone so that you can't, you know, step off the pressure plate and step back on to get more, and you'll be given 500 levels from this command block. So the reason you're getting 500 levels is because somewhere there's going to be a town, and in your town your mother's going to live, and your mother is not going to let you in the house unless you have exactly 500 levels, or maybe a little bit more in case, you know, you accidentally kill something. So once you've got those levels, once you've done this task, then you're allowed to progress to the village. So you can still go to the village before you've done this, but you can't progress unless you've actually done this task. So that's the idea here. So it doesn't feel too limited so that you can't leave the area. So you can go where you want, but you can't actually progress with the adventure unless you have done the task. To make this feel a bit more realistic, what I'm going to do is this block here is going to be a spawner. And what it's going to spawn items. Now, the item is going to spawn exactly here. So once the item's spawned, it will drop here. So we turn this off. It will drop here, and it will trigger this, and it will say, Farmer Joe, round my sheep up. So, you know, instead of having a pressure plate, so it just seems more natural. So once you're in like this block, this vicinity, it's going to have a very small range. It will activate that, so that, you know, it's like he's talking, because, you know, stepping on a pressure plate doesn't really seem very natural at all. So that's how that's going to work, and that's going to probably happen quite a lot in this map. I'm probably going to use that sort of thing quite a lot, just so that it doesn't seem artificial at all. So just letting you know that. So let's test this out a bit here. I'm going to walk up to him, and this area, these 2 blocks here, are the areas which will activate him. So you get some speech, like it basically explains what he wants you to do. So you're going to get the sheep, so but to save time, let's just put them in here. So sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4 sheep, 5 sheep, 6 sheep and 7 sheep. So, you know, some more text, he tells you to go back home, and you also get 500 levels. So that's basically how that works. So, you know, it just comes around here, destroys that redstone. There's these 2. This is for the second speech. But over here, basically what's happening is, if I reset this, go, items are spawning here from that spawner. I'll show you that in a second. Items are spawning here, so it will activate this, go through here, and it will just go through all the speeches. Sort of, I think I need to sort of delay these a bit more, so there's a bit more gaps between each sentence he says. Then that comes around here, RS9 latch, which will, I can just show you actually, look. So it will cycle through the speech, get to this point, and it will track this piston. So if you go back to him and it triggers this, it won't actually do anything. So you don't just keep getting spammed with messages. So over here, the spawner, down here, it's basically spawning stone, I think it is. That looks like stone to me. So every like second or something, it's spawning a stone. And that's pretty much how that works. I just used a NBT editor or something, whatever they're called, to sort of change, you know, where they spawned and the delay and the range and everything. So that's just how that works. It's pretty simple and quite effective for a seamless speech thing. So once this is all done and dusted, what you're going to want to do is head home. So your home is going to be this way. And just to note, that's not finished, and there's going to be paths and everything. There's going to be a lot of more structure. I'm just getting the basic buildings and everything just in place before I make all the roads and stuff. So you're going to get here, and like I said before, if you are not level 500, your mum's not going to let you in, but if you are, you're going to be allowed in. So she's going to be in here, and there's going to be a mushroom in here, and she's going to tell you to go to a market town. There's actually a town over there, but I might not actually use that one. She's going to tell you to go to the market town and sell the mushroom for money. So you're going to start going towards the town, and before you get there, you're going to be confronted by a mysterious man who will offer to take the mushroom off your hands for magic beans. And obviously you're going to accept it because, you know, magic beans. So you take the magic beans and you go home, and your mum's not going to be too happy about it. So that's basically what's going to happen next, and I'll get back to you when I've made a little bit more progress on that. Now what I've done here is I've put the authentication system in place. So if I take a level away from myself, 1L, okay, I'm level 499, so that's not the required level. She denies your request and nothing happens after that. But if you are level 500 or more and you press the button, she accepts and you're teleported inside. So this here is going to be a mob spawner, and it's going to work like the farmer worked. And she's going to assign you your task to take this mushroom to town and trade it for some money. But obviously that's not how it's going to work out, and you're going to have to lead the mushroom to the town, and that's how that next bit's going to work. So yeah, it's pretty simple, and there's going to be other components in this house as well, but I'll get to that later. Now, before I end this episode, I kind of wanted to explain how the speech thing works. It uses a spawner which spawns an item just here, just above it, and you can change the range. So this one only has a 1 block range, so once you're on it, it will spawn it, but if you go off it, then it stops doing it. So it's truly wireless redstone here. And another cool little thing about it is, if you chuck an item, any item, just an item drop like that, it will, no matter even if you're in range, it will stop spawning because it has a mob cap or an entity cap, much like how a regular spawn would stop spawning more mobs after there are 6 in the vicinity. So once you pick it up, it will parrot again, but that's just something to note because that's quite interesting. But yeah, just thought it was quite interesting, and that you probably wanted to know how it worked, so that's how it worked. And to get that spawn, you just need to edit some NBT stuff, which sounds complicated, but it's actually quite simple. And yeah, that's how that works. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to like, comment, or even subscribe. But I'd also like your feedback on how this episode was structured. Did you like how I just skipped a bit, or would you prefer if I just, you know, showed more of me actually building things? Obviously a dirt house isn't that interesting to watch build, but I'm not going to be building dirt houses, to be honest. So, you know, just say in the comments what you liked about it, what you disliked and everything, because I'd like to make it as interesting as it can be. So thank you for watching.